Alright. Increase it up. It's fine.
इतना ही रखना मेंटेन कर इतना चलेगा इतना ही रखना पहले ये तो
स्पीकर्स के साथ चेंज होंगे या
ऐसा ऐसा
A very good morning. The only thing worse than starting something and failing is not starting something.
A very beautiful morning to our honored principal ma'am, Dr. Koyal Roy Chaudhary, our convener, Chaitanya Songikar sir, and respected teachers and admired speakers, Ms. Drishti Sharma and Bhavesh Kothari, Praful Baweja, who will be joining me soon. This is Abdullah Sarguru, alongside
Ananya Sharma, welcoming you to the orientation of Entrepreneurship Development and Incubation Cell. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity, as sunlight expels the darkness of mind. Similarly, blessings bring in our life prosperity and happiness. To make this morning a blessed one, let's invoke Goddess Saraswati by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. For seeking the choicest blessings for the same, I invite our principal, Dr. Koyal Roy Chaudhary ma'am, our vice principal, Dr. Neera Kumar ma'am, our convener, Mr. Chaitanya Songekar sir, and our co-convener, Mr. Abhishek Tandekar, and our respected guests, Ms. Drishti Sharma, Mr. Bhavesh Kothari on stage to lit up the lamp.
स्लिप नहीं हो रहा ना ओके कैसे करोगे कोई आ ही नहीं रहा है इसको तो ऐसा करना है एक उस तरफ हाथ में लेना देखना ऐसा होना चाहिए
would like to give a round of applause. Thank you so much, ma'am and sir.
The more you take responsibility of your part and present, the more you are able to create the future you speak. It's my turn to extend a gracious welcome to our honored principal ma'am, Dr. Koyer. It's a sense of commitment which creates an apt platform for us to grow mentally. On this great morning, with merging of minds, welcome on stage, ma'am.
कैसे रोटेट करोगे इसको रोटेट कैसे करना है नहीं स्क्रीन रोटेट कर देखिए इधर 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 ये कैसे निकल
Good morning to our esteemed guests for today, Mr. Bhavesh Kothari and Drishti Sharma. What is very important to note is both of them are our alumni. One is the alumni of our sister concern 2018. I want to extend my warm welcome to all the students as well as to our faculty members. We in our college, we now introduce wide range of courses, some more popular than the other. But today the kind of changes that are coming in the higher education forum, when we talk about teaching, it cannot be simply confined to classrooms where the teacher went with the chalk and duster, went with the test book, taught what was there in the test book and came out. We want you to imagine. We want you to think. We want you to dream. There is nothing wrong. If you're sitting in the classroom and you're dreaming away and not concentrating on what the lectures the teacher is doing, perfectly fine. If that dreaming involves creating something, making a difference in your life and the life of others. Today I tell my students, this cliched thing that I want to now look for a job which is 9 to 5, you should stop that. Startups are not for others, it is also for you. When government is making so much of initiative to introduce startups, today there is no age bar that people can start their companies only when they reach a certain age. There is no bar actually. So therefore, we want to give platform for the students. Last year, let me tell you, when we were talking about EDC, sir came to us and told us, ma'am, there are this group of students from MSc, they are not asking for anything. They just want a place to sit. We said, fine, we will identify that. We looked at the college, we identified a space and we tell them, now this is the space. Whenever you feel you need to come together and sit together, use that space. That is also the way an institution can help. So I will not take too much of your time, but say that use these forums to learn something more than what the classroom is telling. Get inspired by the people whom you are going to interact with and come back more so as alumni to inspire more so that when we pass out, we have a lot of success stories, not that they are CEOs in some company, but they themselves are running their own companies. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We are beyond grateful for your words. Now I request a convener to felicitate Ms. Drishti Sharma and Bhavesh Kothari. We would like to come up here on stage. Now, I request the principal ma'am to felicitate Mr. Bhavesh Kothari. I also request Abhishek sir to come up on stage, please. Now, I request a convener and Abhishek sir to felicitate Ms. Drishti Sharma. Thank you.
बीच में भी जाके कोई शॉट लेना है।
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, sir.
A leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. We would like to call our upon the stage who really believes in educate, encourage, empower Mr. Chaitanya Songikar sir to enlighten us what entrepreneurship development is all about.
Good morning, our principal Dr. Bhavesh Kothari and our guest speakers and my dear students. Today on behalf of Entrepreneurship Development Cell, I'm very glad to say that we have organized this orientation program and you all have joined us with a huge strength, and I think we will be working with you all throughout the year. The idea behind having entrepreneurship development and incubation cell is to encourage students to take part in activities, learn entrepreneurship skills, and in future, if any one of you can build a startup, that will be the success for us. So we will try to organize such workshops, seminars, and skill development workshop for you all, and we hope that some of you will come up with a new brilliant idea, and that will be a new startup for us. Thank you for joining us today, and I now request the host to take over the stage.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words. I also request Abhishek sir as a co-convener to come on stage.
सर इसको रोटेट करना पड़ेगा ना, लाइक इसको पूरा ऐसा करेगा तो फिर ऐसे साइड में अटैच कर सकता है कैसे।
Good morning, everyone. Good morning once again. As Chaitanya sir has already said, the idea of entrepreneurship development cell is to develop entrepreneurs. The idea of incubation cell is to incubate the ideas that you have.
स्ट्रेट नहीं है,
And as you see, the new generation has a lot of ideas. And those ideas have something in mind, and let us shape it up together and let's see where it goes. So I would also wish all of you the best of luck, because I'm guessing that so many people who have come here have some ideas, have something that they want to convert into a business. So best of luck and do well. Thank you so much.
इधर में ऐसे टेढ़ा लगा है, ऐसे ऐसे करना देखो होता क्या।
Thank you, sir. Now I request Yes Sarauti to walk you through a presentation.
Good morning. So, a very good morning, everyone. Stop chasing the money and start chasing the passion. With this thought, as we go ahead, I would like to give you all a bit introduction to myself. I am Yash Saragi, the General Secretary for this year. I am currently in second year BFM. I was the technical volunteer previous year, so this isn't my first rodeo. But jokes aside, with the promotion of in my post since last year, I would like to give my gratitude to the previous core and convener. I'm really grateful that you all chose me for this opportunity. Now, with this all of my introduction, let me move on and give you a brief insight of all the events that we had organized last year. So there were the events organized consisted of webinars by CEOs and venture capitalists of various companies such as Ashok Ramachandra, Nikhil Devedi, and we had concatenation that was like we have the key speaker as Anubhav Dubey. Also, we had collaborated events with Sharpshooters Fest, wherein Sahil Khanna was also part of us. Now, as we have covered most of the events of the previous year, I would like to give a very brief about what is EDC. With the growing awareness and creativity in the field of entrepreneurship, definitely many of you would have at least had a business idea in your mind, but implemented it, I doubt. So, like, the EDC cell would actually help you to implement it and get you through your business idea. Now, what we have in future with you, like the starting with developing your mindset, gaining knowledge from the experience of other great business minds, and also letting you interact with and discuss, debate with like minds, and also incubating your idea into reality through our incubation cell. We have various workshops, seminars, competitions, and other events already lined up for you. So stay tuned for the amazing journey we are gonna have. Now this was my side. I sincerely hope you enjoy this. Have a good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yash. It's a great pleasure to welcome such a noble personality as a speaker today, Ms. Drishti Sharma, who started blogging as a passion in October 2019 and gradually stepped into video creation and content development. Now she's a prominent content creator on YouTube and Instagram, making content on making content on mindset and personality development. So, on behalf of one and all present here, we welcome you on stage, ma'am.
Hello, hello. It's such a pleasure to be here. I was an alumni of this college and now I'm speaking at this same stage A few years back, I was sitting there in the audience and I was listening to someone else's story, sharing their journey, how they started. And now I am here, I got this opportunity to share my story. So, the distance between the audience and the stage might be 2 to 5 feet, but the journey has been really great for me. It took me like 2 years to come here and stand and give my own speech. So, sorry, I'm a bit nervous. So, when I was in college, I was very introvert, I was very shy. Barely I used to speak anything. Coming up on stage and speaking something was like a big thing for me. And then somehow content creation happened. The journey started when I started reading books. So the people who follow me, the people who know me, might know that how much I love reading books. I started reading books in 2018 when my life was literally going downwards. I was jobless, I had nothing. And when I started reading books, I discovered the concept of subconscious mind. That's when I got to know that, okay, I have power to change my mindset. So earlier I used to think that, okay, I am just made for job. After my graduation, I'm going to do job. I'm going to probably do MBA and get married to someone and have kids and live my whole life. Dal chawal for 50 years. So I literally, I never thought I could do something good in my life. I used to literally keep myself down and बाकी सबको इतना ऊपर रखती थी. So, but when I read that book, I thought that, okay, I shouldn't speak bad about myself. I should also think good. I should also, think big about myself. ऐसा नहीं सोचना चाहिए that, okay, I'm just made for job or something. I need to figure out that, okay, what am I good at? So while I was doing my job, I figured out that, okay, I'm not made for it. Because I'm someone who's very impatient. I cannot sit at one place for like 9 hours. So I decided to find something else, and that's how I got into blogging. Because I read a lot of books. So I thought I'd share my journey about books, about how I improved myself, about how I changed my mindset, etc. So I started with book summaries, book reviews. The blog didn't go well. I literally spent 6,000 to 7,000 on that blog, and I got 0 visitors in 1 year. So that was a big flop for me. The only person who visited my website was my mom, and she doesn't know English. So she was just there to encourage me. So when that happened, I was like, okay, let's find something else. And during that course, like when I was doing my job, I was doing a side hustle of writing blogs. So while you're doing your job, and especially when you are like in Navi Mumbai and you have to travel to Andheri for your job, it takes like 2.5 years, 2.5 hours for one way. So it's like 5 hours a day and 9 hours की shift. 9 hours सिर्फ बोलते हैं corporate life में 9 hours होता नहीं है. It's never 9 to 5. So it took me like 13 to 14 hours a day. And when I was back home, I was so exhausted, but I still used to work on my website. And I was a commerce student, I had no idea how to build a website. I learned how to code. I learned everything from scratch. And that's how I built my own website, and I started writing blogs. So, but when the blogs weren't working, I thought that, okay, let's try something else. No, because I was a bit active during my college days in these events and cultural activities. So I had some idea about dancing, about interior designing, about Photoshop and all that stuff. I used to edit some videos as freelancer earlier. So I did that also, but nothing worked out. So कहानी में twist तब आता है जब pandemic होता है, ठीक है? So I think that's when every content creator grew, because I got extra 5 hours which I was wasting while traveling because I was working from home. So during that 5 hours, I was like, okay, how to utilize these 5 hours? So I started, I thought that, okay, why not convert my writings into video form? So I started creating videos. I was very shy. I still remember my first video was a mess. I was literally, like, it took me 4 hours just to record a 50-second video. Just to record it, but edit and all that stuff took me another hour. And, but after that video, I still remember that feeling. My feeling was, I finally did it. Okay, so that dopamine release also happens when you do something with when you thought that okay, I can't do it, but you actually did it. So वो भी weak dopamine release हो जाता है. So that was the moment I thought that okay, I think I need to continue this, and that's when I started creating content. And it's been like 2.5 years now. I've been active on Instagram, I've been active on YouTube, I've been active on LinkedIn, Twitter. I'm sorry, I'm promoting myself a lot, but yeah. So there are two takeaways that I want you guys to take from my story. Number one is, just because you guys are in college right now, I don't want you guys to repeat the same mistake that I did. I was literally very introvert person. It doesn't look like now, but I never made any friends. I never went out of my comfort zone to talk to new people. So I want you guys to make a lot of friends. I want you guys to take part in as many activities as you can, and especially be friends with people who are pursuing CA, because they're going to help you a lot when you become entrepreneurs and all. They're going to help you manage your finances better. So be friends with CA and find a lawyer also. And the another takeaway would be that please believe in yourself. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. If a girl like me who is very introvert, who is very shy, if I can do it, then you can definitely do it. Like, you guys are so young and you guys are so into entrepreneurship. I think, it's very easy actually. It's not that hard. Content creation is pretty easy. You probably can start with content creation and build it up to a level where you can distribute your own products and services to the audience that you have, the community that you have built. So yeah, that's it. I think. In the last year, I forgot. So that I'm a content creator, I'm going to do a very content creatory thing. Is that I'm going to ask you guys to subscribe to my channel. It's Drishti Sharma. Okay, just kidding. But yeah, if you guys have any questions related to content creation or anything, or if you guys want to work with me and start with your entrepreneur journey, not entrepreneur, okay, freelancing journey, so you guys can hit me up on Instagram. That's my ID, and I'm very, very happy to help you guys out with anything that you have in your mind. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was an amazing journey. It was really inspirational.
I kindly request our convener, Mr. Chaitanya Songikar sir, on stage, and Ms. Arpita Pandey and Priyanka Rathore on stage to felicitate our core team of last year.
I also request co-convener Abhishek sir to come up on stage, please.
Our General Secretary Arpita Pandey, Joint General Secretary Priyanka Rathore, Admin Head Riva Dingankar, please come on the stage. College Coordination Heads Kairavi Shah and Anirudh Arun. Marketing and PR Heads Naman Kumar and Vikas Chaudhary. Social Media Head Sakshi Kohli. Technical and Creative Heads Nandini Parmar. I request the last year's core team to felicitate our new core team.
I would like to thank last year's core team and the team head Arpita and Priyanka. They have worked really hard and they had set a path for you all new joinees. It was very difficult for them to begin the journey because there was no guidelines what to do exactly, how it has to be done, and everything was online, but still they had managed to establish this cell, and due to that you all are here today. So I thank Arpita and Priyanka and the entire core team for being with us.
So I would just like to sign off on behalf of my whole team, on behalf of my 8 other members. We, the co-members of academic year 21-22, are now signing off and proudly handing over the responsibility to the next set of core members. It was indeed a great experience creating a benchmark for the next team to follow upon. And at last, let's keep the flame of entrepreneurship burning in perpetuity. And we hope you all shine even brighter than us. Thank you.
Now, I request the previous core team to felicitate the current core team. So, I request our current Joint Secretary, Yes Sauragi, to come up on stage, please. Joint General Secretary, now I request Priyanka Rathod to come up on stage as a Joint General Secretary. I also request Riba Dinganka, who is a new head, to come up on stage. College Coordination Head, now the current core team is Samraksha Shetty and Anshika Singh as our Digital Creatives Head, Aryan Vichare as Admin Head, Harsh Shetbal as Logistic Head, Mit Bhanushali as Technical Head, Renuka Pillai as Hospitality Head, Fiza Khan and Man Tiwari as Marketing Head, Shatabak Head is Devan Shivastav and Ishika Sharma, College Coordination Head, Madhavi Avagari. I also request previous core team to come up on stage to pass on the badges to the current core team. I request Priyanka Rathod to pass on the badge to Dhairya Gawal as he is our new Joint General Secretary. I request Riba Dingankar to pass on the badge to Aryan Vichare as our Admin Head. Kervish and Anirudh Arun to pass on the badge to Man Tiwari as a College Coordination Head. I request Naman Kumar and Vikas Chaudhary to pass on the badge to Fiza Khan and Man Tiwari. Now I request Nandini Parmar to pass on the badge to Meet Bhanushali as a technical head. I would invite Sakshi Kohli to pass on the badge to Shutterbuck's head, Devan Srivastav and Ishika Sharma. I request Anirudh to facilitate Harshit Bal as logistic head. I request Naman to pass on the hospitality badge to Renuka Pillai. I request Arpita to give the rest of the badges. I request Samraksha Shetty and Anshika Singh to take on their digital creative badges. I request the previous co-team and current co-team to gather on the stage for a photo. I request convener and co-convener also to come up on stage.
As Mr. Praful has recently joined us, I would like him to come on stage and Mr. Chaitanya sir and Abhishek sir to felicitate him. would like to hand over the stage to Nibha and Rhea.
Thank you, Ananya and Abdullah, for such a beautiful start. Thank you, Ananya and Abdullah, for such a beautiful start. Now, I, Rayan Ahmed,
And I, Nibha, would be taking upon the stage as the host for the rest of the event.
I'm proud to tell you all that India has emerged as one of the leading startup hubs in the world. India ranks third in the global startup ecosystem now.
Indian startups have given many disruptive products which have changed and revolutionized the world. But do you guys know what's common between all these big businesses? It's an idea being executed in the right way.
And as we are talking about ideas, I'm sure we all have ever had at least one startup idea. Be it opening a tea stall with your best friend or starting the next space agency and be the next Elon Musk.
But no matter how small or deserted these ideas may sound, they always can evolve into an empire if nurtured properly. And guess what? EDC committee does? Not only conduct seminars and events, but ensure that entrepreneurship is promoted in the right way with all support.
So now I call upon our faculty member, Mr. Chaitanya Songrikar, sir, founder of I Love My Cars, and Sanyu D'Souza, student of SYBMS, founder of Book Connect, to pitch their startup ideas.
Good morning, all of you. अगर कोई मुझसे पूछे कि क्या आपने कभी किया है प्यार, तो I would say मेरा पहला प्यार मेरी कार. Every car owner feels that I love my car. So, being a car lover, I wanted to have something for car lover, especially for them, and the idea of I love my car came into my mind. Being a car lover, we want to take care of our car, be it just a cleaning, maintenance, or any add-on services. But these services are so scattered that we tend to go here and there and find a good service provider. So why not have these services on a single platform? That was a basic idea. So we started building a team, we started doing research, and we then began with a mobile detailing van which offers doorstep services to the customers. The idea is to build an umbrella organization that will provide all the required services to the car owner under one roof. The way to start is different. Nowadays, everyone is starting their aggregator business. They choose that way. But we thought we will choose a different way, that we will start our own expert services, and we'll go step by step. So instead of introducing all the services in a go, we thought we will start with the basic service which is required by every car owner, that is basic cleaning and maintenance. So we started our first step. That we started with research, and we developed a model that we can present to customers. And we then got customers' acceptance, as we have a mobile detailing van, we can approach to any customer at any place and we offer our services. So this is the first step. The second step which we have achieved. The third step will be to build a community of car lovers, and once we have the community, we will be adding other services, and so we will reach to our goal, that is having an umbrella organization. Right now we are offering few services like interior and exterior detailing. Our plant services are accessories fitment and service maintenance, buying and selling of used car, vehicle insurance and other car care products that would be offered under one platform. The second step was customers acceptance, and we have got tremendous response from the customer. Those who have availed our services are willing to give us more than 5-star rating, but unfortunately only 5 stars are available. But these are few feedbacks which we have received from customer, and there are some more feedbacks. Now the next step will be to build a community. So we are planning to target residential complexes wherein we will offer AMC services, and once that is built, we will start introducing other services. You can find how we provide the services in the next video. Thank you. Like Ms. Drishti, I would like to share my social media handles with you. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, ilovemycar.in, and that would be the website domain as well, which is under process. But I wish you all follow us and do avail our services. We need to know.
I observed is हाई स्कूल में ऐसा नहीं होता है, यहाँ पे अलग होता है. हाई स्कूल में we used to buy new books, but यहाँ पे this is different. We buy used books, right? So that thing I observed, and so I went on a hunt कि कहाँ मिलता है. तो अभी I wouldn't say it was very hard. ठीक है, कंसोली में मैं रहता हूँ, वहाँ पे तो नहीं मिला. But यहाँ वहाँ नेरुल में एक जगह है, वैसे जगह तो है. But when I saw कि what prices they are, so it didn't make any sense to me. It's like they are pricing like a book which is for 250, 241. मैं नया क्यों नहीं खरीदूँ उससे अच्छा? So I thought कि there is a need where I can, as a student, everyone want to save money, right? So I thought I can help you in this. Maybe a little bit, not बहुत कुछ भी, but in a little way. So I came up with Book Connect. So Book Connect is a place, as I said, where you can sell your books and buy your books. Now it is not like OLX, okay? You cannot just post your books. I will take the books and I will give you customers and I will sell it to you. And then you get the money. And you can buy the books, good quality books, at a price that is lower. And another thing that I aim to solve is convenience. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि भाई मैं कारगर ढूंढ रहा हूँ, मैं वाशी ढूंढ रहा हूँ, मैं यहाँ ढूंढ रहा हूँ, वहाँ ढूंढ रहा हूँ, कहाँ मिल रहा है. You should get your books right in your college. Lecture के लिए आओ, book लेके चले जाओ. खत्म, बात खत्म. So this was my idea. Now Book Connect for student sellers. Now जो भी SY में है, TY में है, अभी उनका book तो हो गया use करके. Now क्या करें, घर पे रखेंगे क्या? नहीं, अब देना पड़ेगा ना. So I came up with this Book Connect for student sellers, where you all can, now it is not like कि एक ही condition है. I have separated the books into 4 conditions, that is A+, A, B and C. So according to your conditions, like जैसे कि मोस्टली पढ़ाई अगर नहीं किया है और बुक्स एकदम अनटच कंडीशंस में, you get 70% of the price of the books, which in retail is 40% of the price of the books. Now you might ask कि सैमी तू ऐसा कैसे कर रहा है, वो लोग भी इतना हाई प्राइस कर रहे हैं. So the thing is उनके पास बहुत मेंटेनेंस का कॉस्ट है, ये कॉस्ट है, वो कॉस्ट है, and I reduce that cost and I take little profit from that. My aim is to help you all students. It's a community, right? You are my fellow students and I aim to help you all. So, a recap. Buy quality books at a price lower than retail. Sell books at a price higher than retail and get it conveniently at your college. So, that was my idea. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Chaitanya sir and Sanyu. I hope your startups not only solve the genuine problems but also become a massive success. All the best to both of you.
Entrepreneurship is a skill and an opportunity for young brains to execute their dreams. But as a budding entrepreneur, we do need some guidance and some torch-bearing to move ahead with our journey, right?
So with this, I would like to call upon stage Mr. Bhavesh Kothari, a startup mentor and author of EDC Against the Odds. He has been mentoring many brilliant innovators to begin their journey of entrepreneurship and had been ranked among the top 1% influencers by LinkedIn for 3 consecutive years. Please welcome Sir Bhavesh Kothari with a big round of applause.
हाय गुड मॉर्निंग. यार SIES के बच्चे शोर नहीं करते मतलब ये नाइंसाफी है. गुड मॉर्निंग. We are just about to be in afternoon now. Wonderful. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you Dr. Koel, Chaitanya, Abhishek, Drishti for being a part of this wonderful space. It's always great to come here. The reason is because SIS, has a very special space in my heart, right? 23 years ago, I was there. And while sitting there, I used to dream, how do I be here? And I think that journey of 23 years from there to here is full of excitement. Because the purpose with which I started this journey was very delusion, right? So as Drishti said, I was also a very introvert program. मतलब स्टेज पे आना मतलब पसीने छूटते थे. But thanks to my mentors, my college professors, they actually helped me break that shackle in, and I'm always grateful for them to make me what I'm here today, right? What I'm going to do is I'm not going to take much time. I have been asked to speak about my journey, which is very boring. Okay, because उसमें कुछ excitement नहीं है, कुछ drama नहीं है, कुछ romance नहीं है, right? सिर्फ एक ही काम है कि I have been always focused in building my own self, because I believe that we have one life, right? We all have one life. We don't know कब बाबू मोशाय हो जाए, right? So ये आनंद एक करके movie है, बहुत beautiful movie है, right? So there are some things, that I always believe in, and one of the biggest thing that I believe is you all have a purpose in life. We all have a purpose, right? To identify and find that purpose is very, very important. You guys are very fortunate that you have information at your fingertips. Now it's up to you how to use that. Imagine 23 साल पहले when I was passing out of college, way back in 98, 99, हमको तो information scout करना पड़ता था, right? Life was very tough. We had to literally struggle to identify. Startup मतलब क्या था हमको पता भी नहीं था, right? Entrepreneurship was never heard of, right? But what was there, right? हमें कुछ करना था. We had to do something in life. क्या करना था? Till third year of my college graduation, कुछ पता नहीं था. होगा, देखा जाएगा. So it's a very awkward scenario in my whole career. Right? I'm a BSc chemistry graduate with 6 units major and a minor in drugs and dice. Then I went ahead and did my PG degree in event management. I don't know why I did that. Then I again did another blunder. I did my MBA in international business. I don't know why I did that. What am I doing? Nothing out of the three. Right? But what has happened is, I said, let me take my life one step at a time, one moment at a time. I worked for 10 years in my corporate career, got bored. I used to carry my resignation letter in my pocket or in my bag the moment I got my appointment letter. That was the attitude that we had. Right? The reason is because I believed in my own self. And that belief came in with a lot of hard work, a lot of conviction, lot of perseverance, so on and so forth. I said, now what? I want to give back to the society. So that is where I found my purpose of how do I give back to my society, because I had tons and tons of mentors and friends and family, people who supported me in what I am today. And I think what Drishti said is right, go out and make great friends. Some of the learnings that I thought, let me share with you guys. First is always believe in yourself, because we all are very unique, right? And kudos to people who are sitting here. I think the first step that you guys did was come and attend such conferences and learn. I think learning is a lifelong process, right? So everyone believes that our destination is fixed, right? Either a graveyard or maybe, smashan or whatever, right? That is fixed, right? Does anyone have anything beyond that? Right? So you know where you're going to end up, right? We all know where we are going to be ending up, correct? Yeah. कुछ तो बोलो यार. हाँ, see? ये SIES के बच्चे शांत अच्छे नहीं लगते हैं. Because I was always an outstanding student. I was always outside the classroom. And I think thanks to that I could learn a lot of experience. I was a chief coordinator for Visions, and I'm very proud to say that way back in 1999-2000, it was me and my team who took the festival, the 3 days festival, to intercollegiate level. Right? So this is where the learnings came in. And when I was seeing all you guys standing here, I was actually reliving that moment. That wow, मैं भी ऐसा था कभी. हमने भी किसी से core team बनाई थी, 100 volunteers, 20 core committee members. That's where leadership lessons came in. How do you manage egos? How do you manage people? How do you identify the talent that you have within that? Right? So that's how the journey started. So coming back to how the journey is, right? So our destinations are fixed. What is important is how do you traverse this journey? How do you make the most out of this journey? And I always feel very proud when I see a lot of girls/women talking about entrepreneurship today, because this is what I advocate. I advocate women in entrepreneurship. I don't believe women need empowerment. They are already empowered. And this is where the mission of Millennium Divas was to nurture and encourage more women in entrepreneurship. We wrote, in fact, 2 books where we covered 50 women entrepreneurs. It's called Eves Against the Odds. And I would definitely agree to one part of what Drishti also said, and a lot of people I always say. Always be selling. तुमको platform मिला है ना, बेचो यार. आओ बेचो. People should buy. People should follow you. People should get inspired from you, because this is what we all are. I always say, when we are born, right, we make friends. How do we make friends? Yeah, तुझे ये अच्छा लगता है ना? Oh, my favorite dish is paneer chili. Oh, my favorite dish is pizza, right? And then you both become friends because he or she also likes that, right? You have indirectly sold yourself, and she has sold, or she or he has sold herself, right? So always be selling. EDC. Second thing is value time. This is the most precious commodity that you could ever get. ये वक्त चला गया आज तो कभी नहीं मिलेगा. Okay, same is in entrepreneurship and startup. Never believe that my idea is okay, copycat hai. It's okay. It's all about execution. Third thing is do thorough research. Very, very important. It doesn't matter what you are selling, what your business is. You know, आज के डेट में entrepreneurship और startup के बीच में there is very thin line.
बैटरी सर बंद कर, बैटरी सर चालू.
Believe in yourself. Okay, but at the same time, don't get blinded by the myriad word of startup. Okay, it's a very lonely journey. You know, it is said that success is relative and failure is an orphan. The more the success, the more the Sharmas and the Varmas coming to meet you, the relatives. So it's a very lonely journey. It's not for everyone. Okay. But if you have the conviction, if you have the guts, if you know that you could do it, go ahead and do it. Never, never, never fear failure. Most important lesson. I have failed in my 9th standard. I have failed in my 2nd year BSc. I am not, shy about that. I used to be shy 20 years ago. Kya sochege log? I used to fear meeting people. Today I am one of the biggest networker in the country. One among the biggest, if I have to say that. My friends jovially tell me, यार तू किसको नहीं जानता है? कोई भी conference में देखो तो कोई ना कोई मिल जाता है तेरे को. That's how it is. I spend 1 hour on LinkedIn connecting with people. I spend 1 hour on Facebook engaging with people. I make sure that I compliment people on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, wherever it is possible. The reason is because we are a global world today. We are no more restricted to only geographies, right? So this is something that you all are anyways aware about it. What's new? The newness is in terms of how do you keep engaging with your people, with the people that you have connected with. Go out. My co-author Hariharan, he has a very beautiful saying which I firmly believe, right? पहले देना बैंक बनो, फिर लेना बैंक बनो. Which means first you give, and the universe will come and give it back to you, right? In some form or other. So these are some of the lessons of entrepreneurship, right? Coming back to, in the first place, why do you want to become an entrepreneur is very, very important. Please ask this question to yourself. Kyun? Just because, my friend has started a business or they have raised capital, I also want to raise capital. This is something that has been happening for the past 8-9 years is what I have been observing. I am on the several boards of incubators in the country. I am on the advisory board of several incubators in the country. I am on the boards of a couple of startups. I have invested in a couple of startups. I mentor a couple of startups in terms of from a long-term perspective. So identify those mentors. In fact, when I started talking about mentoring, a lot of people said, क्या circus चल रहा है? बोला सर्कस मैं ही बनाऊंगा, जोकर भी मैं ही बनूंगा और रिंग मास्टर भी मैं ही रहूंगा. Flashback, fast forward 5 years, 10 years from now, people who said mentoring is nonsense, they have understood and they have been advocating mentoring. And some of them are, by the way, very, very prolific investors in the country. So, it doesn't matter who says what. It doesn't really matter, who's talking what about it. You need to keep moving. If you believe firmly, if you are confident enough of what you want to achieve, keep moving. Keep your eyes and ears open because you never know what may come, and hit you at some point of time. A classic example, pandemic. Did you guys even, have a wildest dream that you will have to sit home and, have a virtual meetings? Never. Does that mean that, there was no work from home? A lot of people work from home. In fact, I remember when I quit my so-called cushy CXO job, the first thing I did was started my own enterprises. For 2.5 years, we were sitting at home and, working with organizations such as Microsoft, IBM. For 2.5 years, both of us co-founders, there was no co-founder system way back in 2011, 2012, right? We worked from home. We had an office set up at home. We had a laptop, we had an internet connection, we had a mobile phone. We were on Skype, right? So co-working was there. You know, a classic example of co-working. You go to APMC market, you will find एक गाला है जिसमें 4 लोगों ने टेबल बिठा के रखा हुआ है, चारों लोग वही बेच रहे हैं जो एक दूसरे, they are competing with their own self, right? So I always say co-working has been existing. Go to Kapda Bazaar, right? There you will also find 4-5 लोग पकड़ा डाल के बैठे हुए हैं. So these concepts are not new. The way they have been presented, the way they have been marketed is something new. Last but not the least, right? Always have your family backed up. Okay? Because I think if they will be able to support you, if they are able to support you, I think you don't need anyone else's support. So go out, talk to your family and friends and say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. Give me that opportunity, right? Have their buy-in in the first place. Last but not the least is, don't go behind investment and all that. You will always hear this, अभी ये आप लोग ये साइड के टेबल पे आए हो ना, आपको ये सब ज्ञान बहुत मिलेगा. Don't raise capital when it is not needed. Actually, to be very honest, the first capital is your customers. All my startups, all my businesses, I don't want to call it startup, all my businesses have been bootstrapped. I have put my own money. We have not gone out and raised capital. A lot of, in fact, friends came and said, Bhavesh, can I put money? I said, no, I don't think I need that now, right? I have a great saying that I firmly believe, and it is build value and the valuation will follow. Right? And same thing applies. You build value for your customers, they will come back to you. So it's a very exciting space. India is growing, the governments are supporting. We always feel very envied of you guys that wish we had such kind of support. But at the same time, what we have is experience and expertise that I don't think no one can take away. With that, do we have time for 5-10 minutes? Can I take a few questions if someone has?
Yes.
If I have not bored everyone, then maybe I'm happy to discuss. Yes, ma'am.
So what is the biggest asset you feel an entrepreneur has?
The biggest asset?
Yeah.
I think the biggest asset is time. How you utilize is very, very important, right? So, for example, I'm a basic chemistry graduate, right, with a PG degree in event management and MBA in international business. What I have done is I've utilized that time to understand and go ahead and learn more. That's one. So, for example, today I am proud to say that I have, I can do designing. Most of the designs that you see on my digital spaces are created by me. Right? So I learned Adobe, I learned Photoshop, I learned CorelDRAW, I learned Canva on my own. Right? So that is what I utilize my time. I utilize my time in reading a lot of books because it gives me perspectives of life. It gives me that peace of mind that look, I am learning. Okay, so time is the most essential asset, right? Apart from that, then your network. That's the second biggest asset. The larger network that you build, the better for your business or for your own personal self also. And today's world is so connected that you could reach out to any part of the globe, and and build your business around that. Yes,
So I have a question. So as we know that we should invest our own money and whether not borrow it, but borrow it from it less often than our own funds. So why shouldn't we borrow it?
See, when you start your business, right? When you start your business, the first investment is what you put. Because when I put my money into your business, right, I'm taking a huge risk. So I also need to know how serious you are in driving your business, and that will only come when I know that you also have taken that risk in your business. That's one. Okay. So it's always advised that you need to stick your neck first, right, before I stick my neck. It's very rational because that money is not coming from anywhere. It is a hard-earned money for a lot of investors in the country, right? That's one. Secondly, external funding is always costly, be it equity or debt, right? So if you look at equity, what you are doing is when you're raising capital from external party or from external investors, you are giving a portion of your business in terms of equity. So it can be 2%, 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever it is, right? That means you are parting away a part of your business to someone for that money. So that's equity side. The debt side is you're taking loans and you have to pay for that. So there's a liability that you are taking, right? And that's why I say either you put your money, and when you want to scale your business, let's say for example, today you have 100 customers. You want to go to 1 lakh customers, not 1,000. Okay, so it should be like a Nike hockey stick. Right? If you want to scale from, let's say 100 to 10 lakhs, that's the exponential growth that you want to pay. That is where you say, okay, now I want to go out and take money from external parties. And there is an art and science in terms of fundraising and all that, right? So that is anyways available. You will have a lot of speakers talking about how to raise capital, why to raise capital, when to raise capital. But the point is that any money that is coming not from your pocket, from others' pocket, is going to be a bigger challenge. Because today, if I put money in your business, I am going to be sitting on your head and asking you, where is, you promised me something, where is that, right? Because I have to literally also safeguard my investment into your business, right? So it's always advised that you take money when it is in much necessary space. See, 2-3 years ago or 3-4 years ago, there were very limited resources, but now there are incubators. There are grants by the government that are being given, for even for a initial start of research and all that, right? So there are a lot of avenues that are available. There are equity for grants, by incubators and and a host of government initiatives. So if you go to Niti Aayog or if you go to the government space, go to their website, you will see they give you a grant from 5 lakh to even 20 lakhs. Let's say for research or for product development, so on and so forth. Right? So there's so much opportunity available, but you have to literally learn, read, understand, and then apply it to that spaces. Yes, please. Thank you so much for asking this question. Right? I think, see, it's okay to fail, to be very honest, right? We as a society, in fact, unfortunately, have never spoken about failures. Failure is looked up as a taboo, right? If you look at the suicide rates, especially, in young students, because of just a failure in their academics, it's very heartening to see. Imagine, you go beyond and then you fail in your business. It doesn't really matter. It is said that it's not about falling, but it's also about getting up and starting, right? So you will hear this terms, fail fast, move faster, and so on and so forth, right? But I think failures are more of stepping stones, right? So, Thomas Alva Edison, when he was inventing the bulb, he said, look, it took me 1,000 X number of steps to finally reach to what it is today, right? If it would have stopped, let's say at 999 and said, okay, now I want to stop, right? We would not have been seeing the light, right? So similarly with all inventions, right? It keeps moving. Right? The idea is to understand where you lacked. And I think failing is very, very okay. You don't beat yourself in entrepreneurship, right? It is not the end of the world, right? Some ideas might not work. It's okay. Just because you have a pressure, just because you want to, so I always advise young entrepreneurs, young students, don't go by the tagline that you carry on your business card that, look, I am the founder and CEO. It doesn't matter if the money is not coming in your bank. The title really don't matter. Right? Even if you call yourself the MD of the company, but if the company is not making any money, it's useless. Right? So don't pamper your egos, right? Just for the sake of it. And failures are great. They are great, mentors. In fact, I would say it teaches you to be humble. It teaches you to be grounded. It teaches you to be realistic in life. So don't go by what others say you're a failure. It's okay. Oh yeah, I'm a failure. What? So what? It's okay. I'm at least confident enough, and I'm very open enough to accept that. Accept your failures, accept your shortcomings, and embrace them, learn from them, and move forward. I think that's the best way.
mentor works with others?
I can take a complete one-day session on mentoring, right? But thank you so much. I think this is something very close to my heart. This topic is very, very close to my heart, right? So let me give you two small examples which I always cite, right? One is Lord Krishna. You know, when Mahabharata happened, the way he mentored Arjuna in terms of helping him understand his purpose and his, reason for being in this world was to fight against injustice, right? So that's from a personal perspective. Look at Chanakya, right? So he mentored Chandragupta and we had this Mauryan dynasty, right? So that's from a professional perspective. So if you look at both, examples, what has happened is when you are mired, when you are lost, right? What do? You go to people whom you believe and you ask them for guidance, right? But that is only possible when you go out and ask them, right? If you don't ask, you don't get. Same thing in business, same thing in life, right? If you didn't ask for the iPhone, I'm sure your parents would not even have been able to give it to you. Right? So you went and asked, right? So that's one. Mentor plays a very, very important role, right? When you're born, your parents are your mentors because they help you to talk, walk, understand, learn. Right? When you grow up, you go to school, your teachers and your professors are your mentors. They teach you the rights and wrongs of the life, right? When you go out, make friends, you learn with them. They are also your mentors. When you go out of college, go to work, your peers, your colleagues, your juniors, your seniors are your mentors because that is what they guide you, right? So if you see at every stage of your life, you have a mentor in some form or other, right? Then there is a difference between a mentor, a coach, a guru, a guide, so on and so forth, right? They vary from role to role and responsibility to responsibility. But I think it is very important to understand why in the first place do you need a mentor. So, so I'm a very big fan of a gentleman called Simon Sinek, right? He's created this golden circle. It says, what, why, and how, right? And he says that, start with why. So you need to understand, even if you're starting your mentoring journey, why are you going to be solving this problem? Why do you think you should become an entrepreneur? Why do you think you have the potential of, creating an enterprise? So ask this question, why? Same thing with mentoring. You need to ask first, why do you need a mentor in the first place? What are the problems that you're facing? What are you going to give back to the mentor also? Because it is presumed that mentoring is free. I don't think anything is free in this world. There are no free lunches. There is always a price, there is always a value to it. Right? So to understand what do you expect from a mentor, you need to be able to set your expectations very straightforward. Right? So do you need a generic mentor or do you need a subject matter expert? Then there is something like, for example, you're running a business which is into cars and servicing and all that, right? So someone who's from the from the automobile space, who understands customer engagement, and your challenge might be customer engagement. So I think you should look for someone who understands consumer engagement and customer relationship management. He or she will help you to understand much better in the problem that you are facing. It's like, मेरे पेट में दर्द है, मैं थोड़ी ना डेंटिस्ट के पास जाऊंगा, right? मेरे पेट में दर्द है. Same thing is, you don't go to a GP if you have a heart problem. You go to a heart specialist, right? You don't go to a ortho if you have a stomach problem. You go to an orthopedic because you have a problem with your maybe leg, hand, or maybe your bones, right? So same thing is with mentoring. You need to understand where your problem is, identify the right people, and see whether they also are interested in doing this. There's no point in forcing. I get so many requests, sir, I need a mentoring, and then figure out कि उसको funding चाहिए. So I always say, look, I am not a broker. I'm not a mediator to get you funding. I don't do that. I straight away reject those offers. I would say, if you really want some advice, you first let me know what is the problem and what do you expect from me. So same thing is with personal spaces, right? If I have a problem in terms of my attitude or in terms of my problem in speaking or let's say in communicating with people. I will go to someone who can help me hone my, communication skills, or who can hone my, personal development skills as well. So it's always good to understand what is the problem, who can help you solve that problem, is he or she willing to help you, and what are you going to give back to him or her. So that's my summation to it.
My question comes much before mentoring. What if you have multiple ideas at the same time? Let's say you have researched on them also, and then you sort of have this dilemma, what to go ahead with. So how do you come to a decision that this is this idea that I want to take ahead?
So my advice is don't be a serial killer. I have seen a lot of founders with multiple startups. It is good. I mean, I always envy them. How can they manage 3 or 4 businesses, right? I think we all have ideas, right? When we get up, we all have ideas. Eureka moment, right? Ideas are dime a dozen. What is important is the execution of the ideas, right? So one is, as I mentioned to you, right? If you have, let's say, a dozen of ideas, you go out and research and find out where the value creation is there, number one. Where is the maximum value creation? Okay. And then work around that. Go out, find out, are there any similar businesses in this field? Right? I always say that if you don't have a competitor, then that's the biggest problem. You should have an indirect or a direct competitor. There is somewhere someone who's tried that, or maybe is doing that. Find that out. Learn from them. Just don't learn how they are doing and what they are doing. Also try and find out what they are not doing and why they are not doing. So we made some of the biggest blunders in my own career also when we started something into cross-border advisory, right? It was a very challenging space. And then we realized that there is a problem because the economy itself is not supportive. I'm talking about way back 2011, 2012 when the economy was not open. So we shut down that business. So I shut down another business, way back in 2017 on mentoring, in fact. So we were one of the earlier companies in, creating a platform for mentors called the Entrepreneurials. In 2015, we started a platform called the Entrepreneurs with 250 plus mentors on our board. And we engaged with more than 60 plus startups. And mind you, all were paid. But the problem was, that time, it was not scalable. Right? So you need to also understand the timing of your business. Are you too early or are you too late? गाड़ी निकल चुकी है स्टेशन से और आप बोल रहे हो कि अब मैं जाके गाड़ी पकड़ूंगी या पकड़ूंगा. Right? So when is the right time? Actually, there is no right time. It is now. So it is said that if your business survives for the first 1,000 days, that is where you've been able to successfully make a business around it, number one. Number two is, if there are any buyers, right, that's called proof of concept, POC, paid POC. I don't believe in free POCs, honestly, by the way. I never advise any of the startups to go and do a free POC. Because people have said POCs obviously free होते हैं, मतलब क्यों होते हैं free? I'm a गुज्जू बनिया, मैं पहले देखता हूँ पैसा कहाँ है, simple, right? And it's nothing wrong, to be very honest. You're providing value. You need to put a price tag to it. And I am always believing, saying that shamelessly कि भाई मांगो. मैं तो यहाँ पे आने के लिए भी बोला था कि मिलेंगे कि नहीं मिलेंगे. Absolutely, I'm going to spend my time here, right? I don't need that fame. If you Google search Bhavesh Kothari, you will find me. That's the kind of work that I have done, right? The point is that, do you value your time? Do you value your idea? Do your consumers value your idea? And then identify which is the most lucrative one, which makes a lot of money. Because if it's not making money, it's not a business. You better run an NGO. दुआएं मिलेंगी. If you have enough money, or if your fathers and if your parents have enough money, go and run an NGO. But if you are serious in starting a business, then you make sure that your business makes money, or else shut it down. If you go to my WhatsApp status, right? It says there's a thin line between attitude and arrogance. And that is a statement that I very firmly believe. Right? So, there are a lot of startups that I see, they are arrogant. They don't want to accept that, their business is not working. And I was one of them long back. And it took me, great years to understand that problem. But it's always better late than never. Right? So, one last statement before I end is, there's a very nice, saying that has left with me for over a year, right? And it says it's better to try and fail rather than fail to try. Right? So with that, I wish you all the very best. Make the most out of this life, add value, and do go out and explore yourself. I think enjoy this journey. That's the best way to start a business or to enjoy what you want to do. So all the very best, and thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm very, very honored to be a part of this.
That was a pretty speech. Your approach towards self-promotion and success was really insightful, and I'm surely going to use it in my life.
Adding on to the motivational aura, let us welcome our next honorable speaker,
who wrote for several Indian series broadcasted on national television. Unlocking the doors of innovation for neurodivergent entrepreneurs helped numerous struggling entrepreneurs to build their brands online as well as offline. Through his experiential marketing, let me welcome Mr. Praful Baweja.
Hi. So the research that has been asked about, the students are still learning it, right? So they picked up bits and snatches of my 25 years and just made a deep history. It might not make sense when they introduce, so let me do that. So I started out as a creative person, thinking advertising, marketing, let's do things that interest you, because you always believe that you have the best thing to say, so self-expression. If I desire something, I also know how to approach it, invite it, get it into a system, right? So I started working way back in '98. I'm old. So I started at 17, 18, something like that, and it's been 25 years now, almost. And it never remained the same. No 2 days are like, all of you all want to create something that you have idea about today, but consecutively, 10 seconds at a time, our mind makes single choice. One cognizant choice is 10 seconds. Then it leads to next. Then it's the sum of it all, compound interest that you get at the, it starts paying off early, not end of your career. It starts paying off after certain patience for a decade or something. Life is long. So I've had those opportunities. I've had a bunch of those. Ministry of Corporate Affairs part is legality that most people who are directors in any firm need to be part of. So Google will give you this first because this is due diligence, hygiene, aapko karna padta hai. But that does not have the same write-up as everywhere. But that does not add to the cred. What I did was I went from copywriting to conceptualizing to concept selling to then owning the projects from that sold a value and getting the operations in place. So, एक thing, one thing at a day. By now, I have one startup that's my own. I'm an advisor and another one mostly for business. So my firm does inclusive recruitment and marketing. So recruitment, marketing focused on people who are generally sidelined. So women, 50% of population is women. But how many women CEOs do you know? A Nykaa and a Bumble is an exception. They, like, ratio is 50% of population, but 1,000:1 is the representation. So where does it go? Everybody starts out like this. You have good representation in classroom. What happens later? what career choices, what lifestyle choices, what entrepreneurship decision choices, those 10 seconds at a time linkages fall through. Are we encouraging everybody? Are we not? So women, LGBT people, people with disability, army veterans, acid attack survivors, anybody who seems different, single divorced mothers, lots of kind of people who do require to step into their entrepreneurship journey as well, because our corporate systems don't have space. Our Ivy League education might really help, but that label is not easy to come by. I studied at National, I'm speaking at SIES, Harvard is a label that people throw at us. But that Harvard label is no good if I'm working in that space for about 10, 15, 20 years, speak from real insight, I know my numbers on ground. The person is speaking in theory half the time, and it's not relatable, right? But there are lots of such places where we can make a difference, change, bring a newer approach. So we do that in recruitment, we do that in marketing. I do storyboarding currently for AR, VR, XR projects, and architecture is tech people who support me. So that's, I won't take credit for that, but a brilliant team that works in that space. So my entrepreneurship journey runs parallel to what I would like to do in my day job primarily. So day job provides whatever that it provides. Entrepreneurship is an ecosystem that I'm building to pay salaries, to include more people with whom I would like to work, who are not given as a mandate to me, right? ऑफिस में ये होता है ना, बॉस के चार लोग हैं, इनकी ग्रोथ, इनका प्रमोशन, इनकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग, इनका रिव्यू अच्छा है तो आई एम अ गुड बॉस. Entrepreneurship is, have I fed everybody today? Or am I being responsible for them not getting that value out of the system? Pay cuts in 2020 lived reality for everybody. Entrepreneurs, they can't even complain of that. You have to be that responsible. So I've had opportunities within businesses where people have trusted me to run a certain part of their profit and loss statement which drives certain salaries. And then it was natural for us to move ahead and do it in our own life. So my journey has been, I've been a workaholic. So I've done a bunch of things. I have written for television. I have been made to act on television because the director thought that he's done too many auditions and ab tune likha hai to hi karega, kind of a thing. So then they put you in to the grind. That's happened at work also. If I've got a big project, like I was running a ticketing organization, I was helping a firm run their ticketing business. And 10% of BookMyShow market share in 2012, 50% of the screen share as far as cinematic screens are concerned. That's where I joined the organization. But they did not have what it takes to sustain. For a year, I gave them 12 times return on investment with the team. And with that collapsing, you can't look at the same lens and go into your other business. You can't begin the next step, next 10 second journey with that. So while they told me to speak about personal branding and networking, I think that covered a lot of that. So I'm not going to dwell so much on it. I'm going to talk to you all more about choice that you have today. Choice that you will have at every step of the way as an entrepreneur, as an employee, as a colleague, as a person. Within this room, everybody has a business idea. Within this room, everybody can support somebody else's business idea and make it grow. Within this room, somebody will have an insight where you don't know about your own business idea. It's right here, in this moment. If somebody is sleeping and not giving you that business idea, that's your loss. Not their loss. So are we even talking, listening? Are we able to go beyond the differences? Or we see, लड़कियों को तो इंटरेस्ट नहीं होता ना इस चीज में. कार में क्यों बात कर? Why should I speak about Top Gear with a woman? A lot of people think that. मैं टेक स्पेक्स और गैजेट क्यों बात करूं with a book? How many people have that? Clothing, who will know more about clothing? Are there fashion crazy men? GQ क्यों छपता है? Right? So we look at most of the business ideas from our lenses, from our biases, from our own lived experience. So I will say, as much as we engage, include more people, different kind of people, our conversations will be richer. We will be able to find those things that are normally not usually found. And that is what my journey has been all about. 6 degrees, there's inclusive recruitment. There are only handful of companies that go and that can speak this, that, Bhaiya, this person has X kind of physical disability, or this person has X kind of invisible disability, which is the mental health part of it, neurodivergent, the word that was uttered. So, knowing that and how to accommodate is very different. What need are you solving? I go and I tell them that, hey, I will get you in touch with the community, I'll help you to audit it, know the first ground user experience of your recruitment services from an inclusive perspective. Maternity breaks के लिए आपके पास में जगह है to retain the talent pre, during, post a break. IBM may have, 2,000 other companies don't. That's the opportunity being missed out by a lot of recruitment firms. Or either they will claim that they know, get a pilot project, and then not deliver because they did not include people who have had the experience of going through this whole pre, during, post. I can't be talking about pregnancy, I have no experience, but I can facilitate a dialogue about it. Allyship is something in the room and always in life. If you have friends, there are friends. Then you have allies. People who like to look at what value you are creating, what are shared values, and what can you all take further together. So no matter how many number of these grants, incubation, cohorts that you see, the only one that will help you bring more clarity to your mind is where you hear a lot of other voices. And you listen to them, you will be clearer about what is your perspective. Am I wearing a certain thing because everybody else is doing? Or am I okay being different? Each entrepreneur has to be very different from another. Your uniqueness is your everything. So me narrating my life story is going to be very different from anybody else narrating my life story. You narrating yours, today is different, tomorrow will be very different. So pay attention to your brand story. Pay attention to how you started, why you started, what is the point, and how many people can share it, how many people understand it, how many people are interested in it. Are you even paying attention to the Book Connect conversation that was there today, right? How about pure learning? वो बुक में से कुछ सीखा होगा, वो पता हुआ होगा ना, सही है, गलत है, लगा था, नहीं लगा था. The same person who has used that book, the person who's C category and who's really used the book, will be able to tell you about the subject and useful things more than the professor. That lived experience is worth something. Are we including that along with your business idea? That's when community gets created, not by swapping books only and getting some marginal profit, right? You will have to include more. Include what is not visible, include what is beyond only your understanding of it, right? That's when it will take form, that's when it will get, अच्छा, is this the interesting part? Book लिया और मेरे को किसी का एक certain summary, एक pager, highlight notes, X kind of connect with person whose book it is, I get so that I can have a dialogue with that person. That's when you create value, when you include somebody. That's what we do for organizations. Include various perspectives. Do it for your marketing. Do it for your recruitment. Do it in whatever design thinking format, organizational design. So 3 things that design thinking tells you, because It helped me, I'm sharing. Everything has to be viable, desirable, and feasible at the same time. Attractive, desirable, you change skins, you change colors, you make great Canva creatives, it's selling. Just because it's very, very attractive. It's got the right aesthetic. Kylie Jenner and you use the same filter completely for your business promotion. So you are done, right? You are it. What beyond? What is the feasibility? What is the viability? Does it actually lead to a sale? Are you talking to the right people? Is your Instagram post even being seen by people who are going to make that purchase? You have the most distinct offering in the world. But if you don't screen them through these lenses, you're just being biased. अपना बच्चा सबको प्यारा है. Everybody thinks, अरे दुनिया बहुत गलत है. बेटा, you're right. This is, if you treat your business like that, that beta is going to be absolutely rotten, spoiled. Accountability is us, right? On our businesses, on our things. If I don't employ LGBT people, people with disability, women in my organization, I'm just doing lip service. If I can't sustain it and give a longer term career prospect instead of just onboarding, I'm doing lip service. It's good for branding. Rainbow logo लगा दिया पूरा June I'm inclusive. Beautiful. 8th March I become pink, so I become Women's Day में absolutely alive as a man. 3rd December people with disability, absolutely. Teen categories covered. My duty is done. 365 days I can sleep in peace. Because next time I have to just say that don't pity somebody, ask them what they need. People with disability, a lot of people who have had traumatic experience, a lot of people who have had different past, how do you include them in the room? If they are not comfortable with something, do you do it knowing that they are not comfortable? Do you ask? Do you include? All of these things will help you create the organization that will be more sustainable, that will reflect more of you, if you include us. So, anything in particular that you want to ask, I'm happy to share, answer. And I think it's a very quiet room, so I'm going to stop now. Anyway, anything, in case you all need to know. Wow, too much to think, is it? Overheat. Thank you.
What an amazing speech it was. I will always remember your insights towards how working in collaboration with people can get you success. Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening speech.
Now I'll call upon Arpita and Priyanka to speak a few words.
Hello. We are not going to say much. We would just like to call upon our convener, Mr. Chaitanya Songetkar sir, and our co-convener, Mr. Abhishek Dandikar sir, because they have always supported us, and because of their guidance, we have reached such height. So please, sir, come up on the stage. We would like to thank you for your guidance and support.
Yeah, because last year when we started our journey exactly at the same time, we just had our faculty, our convener, our co-convener, and 8 other team members, and that's how we started. And today we are here with a specific part to follow up on. So thank you, sir, for guiding us always, for being there. Thank you. Sir, I would like to request you please come on the stage. Chaitanya, sir, please.
good things comes to an end in life. So is the seminar.
On behalf of the Entrepreneurship Development and Incubation Cell, SIES Nerul, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly or indirectly contributed to the success of this seminar organized by EDC committee.
At the outset, I would like to thank the management for giving us the opportunity to organize this event.
I would like to thank Chaitanya Songrikar sir, our convener, for his guidance and support throughout the preparation of this seminar.
I'd like to thank our principal, Dr. Koyal Roy Chaudhary, and vice principal, Dr. Neera Kumar, for their enthusiastic support.
I owe special gratitude to the non-teaching staff who have worked hard to ensure that this occasion becomes a memorable success.
I would like to thank the entire faculty for their commitment, support, and stewardship. I would like to thank the chief guests and speakers, Drishti Sharma, Bhavesh Kothari, Praful Baweja. Your kind presence and thoughts have truly inspired us.
Last but not least, I thank the audience for their active participation. Thank you,
Thank you,
one and all.